Greetings, fellow porters. This is Fragile Boson, your favorite logistics support officer. This is the first video in a series that I had been thinking about making for some time, and I saw a post on Reddit the other day that just really forced my hand. And I want to just say that as a spoiler warning, there will be some discussion about Hideo Kojima's past Metal Gear Solid series in this video, as well as some themes from Death Stranding. So if you don't want anything spoiled from either Metal Gear Solid 5, Peace Walker, or Metal Gear Solid 3, as well as some of the themes in Death Stranding, go ahead and just skip this video for now and come back later. For those of you who are still interested in hearing, I would like to introduce this Reddit post from the Redditor Fuda Snake that I found on the Never Be Game Over subreddit, doing some research for the upcoming video that I have. It's still early development, but it'll be on Kojima's use of colors in Death Stranding. But Fuda Snake writes about a theory that he has about Death Stranding, and here's what his post says. He says, "Long been a theory of mine that Death Stranding is all taking place inside of the damaged boss AI, which would explain the mirroring of various things." And I assume he means, the mirroring, a lot of the things that Hartman talks about are mirrored objects, like chiral particles being mirror of matter in our universe, and they're almost like antimatter, BTs being mirrors of people, the beach being a mirror of our own reality, and you can see more about these in my lore summary videos. But he says that the boss then would be an extinction entity from Metal Gear Solid, quite literally in Peace Walker. Sam is more of a data porter, reestablishing different parts of her brain. So we know that the boss was essentially entombed in an AI sarcophagus in the Metal Gear series, and her mind is said to still exist there. And so Sam would represent some sort of subroutine or program inside a computer, almost like Tron, rebuilding parts of the boss's brain. The post goes on to say that he would be a snake inside the system she can't find herself killing. The beach is seen as a supercomputer after all, and Amelie is seemingly the god of it. So the parallel would be Amelie and the boss. The beach would be the representation of this supercomputer sarcophagus. There's a link there. You can click on it with I'll put the link to the original Reddit post in the video description. And it's about Dr. Strangelove bringing up the idea of bringing back the boss as an android in the Peace Walker cassette tapes. He also talks about Ludens, the Ludens figure, which is the representation or logo for Kojima's company. It's a man and an astronaut, and it's called Homo Ludens. And if you know anything about the company itself, Homo Ludens is a Latin term meaning the man who plays, essentially. And Ludens, he notes, this Fuda Snake, has these little gold pieces in all of its designs that are said to be inspired by Turing and his machine that cracked the World War II Enigma code. He's widely considered to be the father of artificial intelligence. And then there's another link to the prototype of the first Ludens, which is a pregnant android. Look, I'll just be honest in saying that I don't know that a lot of this headcanon stuff is true at all, although they might have some sort of strange link to the way that Kojima designs and creates. But I will say that it's interesting to think about, and because it's a Hideo Kojima game, I would like to note that none of this is impossible. Is it possible that Death Stranding is going to be a video game series whose sole purpose will be to market the next Metal Gear game? Well, a lot of things would have to happen and change for that to be the case between Kojima and Konami, but I really don't think that it's beyond the realm of doubt to imagine Kojima doing something this extensive and excessive just to point to his next major project. If you've been listening to Kojima's podcast at all, he's been talking in there about how, there are a lot of people that hate what they do or they don't look forward into creating. He talked about how James Cameron really loathed looking forward to being caught into making more Avatar films, but he said that for Metal Gear, that was something that he didn't feel trapped in doing. He really looked forward in making all of those games, and it was just an integral part of his life. He absolutely loved and enjoyed what he was doing. So, I mean, is it possible? Yes, and that's why I wanted to just say that this is something that is one of those fan-created things that I think is really fun, and I think that the community using its collective brain power to solve these problems is nothing but a positive. And I think that even if it's ludicrous and it is not true and it is never going to happen, I still think it's a good exercise in creativity to come up with this kind of stuff. So I would just say kudos on Fuda Snake and his big brain working out the connection between Metal Gear and Death Stranding. That's all for this first episode of Conspiracy Theories. I have been your logistics support officer, Fragile Boson. Keep on keeping on, and remember, tomorrow is in your hands.